I have been writing for 17 years and I have come across the so-called writer's block many, many times. This is my personal way of making sure that now it almost never bothers me. It's a new day and we're going to continue writing my book. Last week was a lot of organizing my world building, so there wasn't as much writing. This week we're going full back into writing the draft. It's chapter 4. Let's go. It took me a couple minutes to get into it, get into the mind frame, figure out what I wanted to write. But I just started writing and now it's flowing well. That brings me to something that all writers have probably dealt with, which is the dreaded writer's block. I think my views on writer's block are maybe quite contrarian. Contrarian in the way that I don't really think it exists. Let me elaborate. If you can think, then you can write. There is no possible situation where you literally cannot write anything. There's nothing ever blocking you from writing. We say writer's block like we don't know what to write. If you're thinking in your head, I don't know what to write, you could technically write something. The reason writer's block happens is because we as writers have certain standards we put upon ourselves for what the words that we're writing down should be. To get over writer's block, the best thing is that you start writing. So the more you can remove standards, the easier it is for you to start writing, and over time you will figure out how to get into what you're writing. So even if you can't figure out how to start a story and you start writing, I cannot figure out how to start this story. My ideas are that the character is going to start in his house talking to his daughter and she doesn't want him to leave, and then he left, and then he says, and you will slowly get into the flow and get to writing. Just start getting words down. You will figure it out. Believe in yourself that you will figure it out, but you cannot figure it out just by staring at a blank page. So make sure that page is not blank. A good example that happened to me recently, I am currently writing a series that will be released on YouTube. And there was a point where I was just starting to write the first draft of the first episode and I had no idea how to start. I just couldn't wrap my brain about the tone because I come from a literary writing book background and I just couldn't figure out the tone of I'm telling a story on YouTube. And I keep in mind, I've told many stories on YouTube. Go back in my channel. I have, I think, 30 plus stories that I've released on YouTube, but they were all written kind of like a book, but then plainer language. This, I was going for really the tone of me telling a story. Imagine telling friends a story around the campfire. And I just couldn't figure it out. And I didn't know how to start. I didn't know how to write. And then I thought, why do I need to get the tone right now on the first try? Let me just start writing. Let me just put the story down. So I just started writing the story. I forgot about the tone. I removed it from my mind. I thought I'll sort it out in editing, and I just started writing. And what actually happened is through the writing process, I figured out a tone that was working really well. But I never would have got there by just thinking, oh, I have writer's block, I don't know what to write, what do I write? I started writing something, anything, and I figured it out along the way. Now, I feel like when someone might hear this, they think, but the point of writer's block is I don't know what to write. Then write that. Write that you don't know what to write, and then continue from there. Obviously, the closer you can get to the perfect first draft is the better. If you have an idea of how to start it like that. Don't just start writing out of the story just because I'm saying it. But if you're really struggling, and to really think, what standards do you have for yourself? That is the tested way that I personally have defeated writer's block, to the point where as soon as I feel I don't know what to write, my brain immediately goes to, okay, what standards do I have about what I'm writing? Does this have to happen now? Does this have to happen now? Does this have to happen now? No, 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 no. Just write what I can. And oftentimes, as you're writing, you figure out the other things, the other standards you had anyway. What's now?